There's some loud music, and we're gonna miss it. No, we're not. No, we're not. Bang. Bang. What's up, everybody? Holy shit. Happy holidays and happy new year. Welcome to another banger. Welcome back to us. So glad to be here. If you're watching on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube, we welcome you into the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin. Guys, it has been a very, very long time, and we owe you a large explanation. We hope you had a great holiday season and a good new year with your loved ones. It feels so good to be back. I mean, dude, we haven't actually done long form content in so long, but this is the first show of 2023, and once again, we are back. So, to kick things off, we have a lot to talk about today. We'll get into that in a little bit of what we're actually doing. But yeah, so where have we been? This is like a very important thing that we want to get out there. No, we have not just like taken a break or quit or sat back. We actually, for the past couple of months, have been working with Sleeper Fantasy, producing fantasy outlooks on player profiles every single week, doing 60 clips a week for them. Great exposure for us in what we want to do and making good connections, but we haven't been doing our long form content because we've been, hyper focused on doing as much as we can for them. I also got a full-time job, so I work now 9 to 5:30. So this kind of goes back to my hypocritical.
That boy said 5. That boy said 5:30, not 5. That boy said 5:30.
Yeah, bro. They say when you graduate college, you got to do 9 to 5. No, bro, it's 9 to 5:30, and I only get a 30-minute lunch too. But yeah, so the grind has started officially for trying to bang out both and what we're gonna do. But yeah, like that's where we've been. We have not taken a break. Honestly, Manny and I spoke about it. We've been doing more, bro.
Take a break, bro. I was about to say.
We've been doing more behind the scenes than we were like in the past, 2 years that we've been doing this.
Nah, I mean we've never uploaded 60 clips a week, bro.
We've never had to do, the amount of stuff that we were doing
like a week for this shit. Holy fuck. I don't think we could get 60 clips. We could get 60 clips from this show, but like the last 30 would be bullshit.
But also
the last 30 would be some shit me saying some shit like this.
Yeah, but how also the other question for that is too, how are you going to post 60 clips of our shit staggered amount?
That's that shit that Mikey was talking about when motherfuckers be having like 90 drafts. We would have had like 300.
Yeah, but some of them would
we're not using.
Wait, well, they wouldn't even be relevant, some of them. Mm-mm. Like it would have to be some crazy question that you would just save.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's where we've been. We definitely owed you guys that.
What would you do if never? We don't get to
right, we're not yet. Not yet. We're taking a different approach to these shows moving forward. It's going to be a way more fun atmosphere for what we're going to be able to put out. But it just feels good to be back in everything we have here. We haven't done long form stuff in a very long time. So we got a big show today. We are going over these bowl games and this Michigan collapse, this Ohio State collapse.
We got to tip our caps to the committee and the college football playoff. First college football playoff where we had two good games. Mm-hmm. We've never had two banger games. I mean, we had a 51-45 and a 41-42.
Yep.
Thank God, because the whole complaint the whole time has been like the 4-1 game's been dog shit, or at least one game's dog shit.
So what are you saying to those people that said, oh, well, I would have liked Alabama to get in, so then it's Alabama, Georgia, and then Michigan, Ohio State?
We finally saw the other side of the
hindsight's 2020.
I've always been on the side of the argument where I wanted to see the TCUs. I wanted to see the Washingtons. I wanted to see, let's say, the year where I wanted Penn State to get in. Like, I wanted to see that team just because of the exposure. The argument's always supposed to be 18s, but let Max Duggan and the boys snap. Right. Let Michigan and the boys snap. Let Ohio State and the boys snap. We'll see. We know Nick Saban's going to have squads. We know this college football playoff is never going away. Right. So I mean, we'll see him.
And we get the expansion coming. So it was a good, kind of final ending to this 14 playoff, right?
Exactly.
And then after some bowl games, we had some bets, so we'll be going over that in those bowl games. Yesterday was the Rose Bowl.
Hella good games.
And then we have a lot to talk about on Skip Bayless tweets, Dana White and his wife slapping each other.
Jesus.
And then we're going to finish it out with some bangers with the NFL playoff picture. What needs to happen in the AFC for certain teams to clinch, and what needs to happen in the NFC for certain teams to clinch, starting with the Packers, where if they win on that flexed Sunday night football game, they will be in the playoffs. Good on the NFL for flexing that.
I fuck with that.
Yep. But okay, so Michigan TCU. So after the TCU scored first on that terrible throw by J.J. McCarthy on that pick six, I was like, okay, Michigan is still not losing this game. Where do the books move this line? They moved it down to 164, even though, like, that's still so high. But I was like, all right, fine. Like, maybe I was looking for, like, maybe 140. So we loaded up on that, and then I think it was 7-3, and then it went down 14-3, and then I put in plus 3.5. I was just big on Michigan not losing.
Bro, I saw a lot of people were big on Michigan. I saw JJ on Twitter. He was big on Michigan. I think he just snapped to yesterday. I think he just had a big day. I just had TCU in a parlay, and I'm not one of those people either. Like, if I don't take the team straight and I just throw them in a parlay, I'm not about to like gerrymander and run around like I really was about to, like I was really on them. Like, yeah, it was always TCU. Like, you just had them in a parlay, relax. Like, I just, in a parlay sense, I was only taking spreads. If I was taking money lines, I would have for sure had Michigan money line in the parlay. But from a spread sense, like 7.5, they gave us the half. I had to take it. That game was fucking nuts though. Like, shout out to Max Dugan, shout out to all the boys from TCU. Like, they put on for the Big 12. You know what's crazy too? The one thing I took away, they showed it, I think, during the third quarter. The one play that made their season was that kick, that bazooka call when they all ran off the field and came on and made that kick. Fucking nuts. But to be honest, bro, like, I was locked in on the game, had action on it. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm watching the whole game. Then they showed the shit with JJ McCarthy's pop. Like, I guess, not even supposedly, I can't even say that. Literally feeling his son's high school sweetheart. Like, my whole attention from that point on, even though the game was a banger, I just keep going on Twitter, and that's just everything I see every time I go on Twitter. Like, bro, I actually know how you felt about that shit. Like, who'd you talk to about that? Like, that shit was nuts, bro.
Yeah, so like,
he was bugging.
It was weird. When I first saw the tweet of the video of like the clip of it, I was like, I saw like the caption of the video and it said like, McCarthy's dad tries to, get his hands on his high school sweetheart. And I'm like, what? Like, and like, I thought it was kind of like clickbait, and it was only like a 10-second clip, and I watch it and I was uncomfortable. Obviously because like I've been dating my high school sweetheart. So I'm sitting there thinking like, bro, I don't want to see this fucking video more times. Cause I'm like, what if like, my dad's like fucking doing that.
Bro,
like,
what would you do? What would you do if that
was like it should
what would you actually do? Like just off the top, like obviously this isn't like maybe like if you think about it, what would you do? Like, but if, in the moment, like if that was your pop, like what would you be thinking? Like you get on the bus, literally you just lost to TCU to go home. You go on Twitter, because you know you're going to go on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, you're going to go on social media.
Your boys probably sent you the shit. Like, so what is going through your head, bro?
First, you got to confront
like,
that.
Do you think he's like,
real, bro?
I'm about to say, do you think he's like, it's bullshit? Like, he's probably just like, bro, this is bullshit.
But then, like, you can create the argument, like, did your hand just magically appear there?
Three times. 3 times. He did a little patty kick at the end.
That's the other thing that's weird, too. Like, when he gets on the bus, like, his teammates saw it, too.
Everyone saw it.
So, like, what is he, like, what are his teammates thinking? Like, does he now, like, is he now uncomfortable because then his teammates are like,
bro, you know everybody.
Weird,
yeah, you know everybody.
That's weird. Like, that was, like, super weird. And
because, bro, we could have had a wholesome another AJ McCarron moment. Remember, like it was 2014 or like 2012. They showed AJ McCarron girl. She was like Miss Georgia or some crazy shit. Bad as hell. Like whatever. Like we're all. And I think Brent Musburger was like horny on the cast. He was like, she's a dime. Cool. He might have took a little step too far on the telecast. But hey, you know what I'm saying? We all men here. It's all good.
For sure.
They said, okay, that's JJ McCarthy's dad. That's his wife. And then me and just I had like how I think every other man at home was thinking. I'm like, okay, but who's the shorty to the right?
Well,
and they was like, you know what I mean?
Let's not discredit him like so much. I mean, they put the camera on his girlfriend and his parents like
primarily.
Every time there was a big gain, there was a touchdown. I mean, primarily everything. Yeah. So like in most of the other moments, she was jumping up and down. She was hugging his mom. She was hugging his dad. It was, but
they just caught the one John when he was trying to act crazy. Nah, that's crazy, bro. Because I was I be trying to I'm like, all right, like was he just hype? Were his hands going wherever? Like, nah, he was pretty.
Because you could create the argument like, oh, like everyone's standing up, like it's super in a weird confined area where like there's you don't have a lot of room, and you're just like your hand just like
3
floppy
times.
fish right on there, bro. Like that was weird. Your whole hand was on there. But to the game's point, the 44-point third quarter, yeah, he can't leave this.
No, my fault. Last thing, fuck when JJ got on the bus. Like, we get in the car with your wife. You're driving, so the wife on the phone.
Oh yeah,
she probably pulled that shit up in like 2 seconds, bro.
Who do you think said something first? Do you think he said like? Did he actually like? Did you feel him touch you there? Do you think that she actually said that or not?
I don't know.
Or did she be like, all right, so you probably saw the clip.
Yeah, I think the wife was just like, I see, like that's tough, man. Prayers for my dog. I hope he's all right.
I mean, okay, at least it was not.
That's a 3-month doghouse minimum.
At least it wasn't like another guy though. Like, come on, that would be so much worse.
Yeah, but you gotta think this is possibly at his marriage. He's in the doghouse at least for 3 months, bro. At least, bro.
Who, JJ?
No, Pops.
Oh, the dad, yeah, for sure.
Pops, he's at least in the doghouse for 3 months. Even if she was like, all right, you might have been hyped, whatever. Like, we just got dragged on the internet we went viral for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
like,
after a loss.
Sleep downstairs, dickhead. Like,
And now, like when she comes over for like family events, is like she not gonna like hug him or like, like there's some weird shit going on. And that was after a loss too. But the 44-point third quarter, me and Manny were texting each other back and forth, like, bro, what is going on in this game? Because it was like Michigan was out. I had a lot of money on Michigan. I'm like, well, I was like down in the dumps, like, all right, dude, wow, this is over. And then it was like a dogfight.
Because I was rooting for you at that point. I'm like, I had the 7.5 and TCU's up. I'm like, bro, I think they're covering the 7.5.
I remember you texted.
I hope you just hit the money line.
You literally texted. You were like Michigan probably wins this game.
Like, how are they like Michigan's in a shootout without their running back and they're about to lose? I felt so bad for you. I felt so bad for all Michigan backers because, to be honest, like the Michigan-Georgia square parlay, it looked good that day. I wasn't partaking, but it did look good that day.
Yeah, and that 51-45 highest combined score in Fiesta Bowl history. I mean, we also, like, you were giving a lot of credit to TCU. Like, they showed these numbers, like, all throughout the game on third down. I mean, TCU was 8 for 16 on third down. To Michigan's, like, 3 for 13. Like, that's your team who we all talked about that defense all year. Everybody said how powerhouse that defense is. Yes, that defense is good, but Georgia's defense is better. Only allowing 27 points is their most amount of points that they let up in a game this year. And then we go to the biggest game of the year where we can change the narrative of Harbaugh and Michigan and we let up 51. Bro.
Because it was the whole thing. The whole reason you don't want to back Michigan is like they don't have Blake Corum, the main running back. Well, that wasn't even an issue.
Yeah.
For real. Nah, that's tough.
And you talk about the rushing yards too. I mean, they were outrushed. It was almost like 80 yards or something that Michigan was outrushed. And that was after that Michigan started the game, the very first play of the game, a 54-yard rush. When that happened, bro, I was like, oh my God, Michigan's game.
It was always Michigan.
Michigan.
It was always Michigan.
And then shit went downhill from there. And then you look at J.J. McCarthy too. I mean, they barely turned the ball over this season. 2 pick sixes, which are so detrimental. And I remember the broadcast saying at the beginning of the game, like the most cliche thing ever, like, oh, it's going to be like who can turn the ball over less. Like, that's who's going to win this game. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like, thanks for pointing out the obvious. Shit. But then, like, literally we see it like in real time.
The second pick six was drawn. He didn't even see the linebacker. It was the outside linebacker on the slant. Didn't even see him. That was drawing. And then that one was like, damn, like it's probably chalk. Like I was like,
Well, we talk about that, but then I had the over in the game too, which was 57.5. And then I started sweating that because we went to the red zone, 3 times in the first half and we got field goals?
Bro, that game, like, bro, if you had the under, you were sitting pretty.
Definitely.
You probably stopped paying attention for real.
You're
like, oh, the way this game going on, I'm off this shit. 44 points.
So was that this is the controversial ruling at the, I think it was, I know it was in the first half, it might have been in the second quarter.
Are you talking about the touchdown?
The touchdown that was, bro, he didn't have possession of the ball at the goal line and then he went, like, I think that was his knee was down, but he didn't have full control of the ball yet until he reached the end zone. That was a touchdown.
I'm gonna keep it a whole 100. I usually have like explanations. I usually have like some, bro. That was the first ruling I've ever been like, bro, I'm officially like confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I'm officially confused.
Like, yes, I had money on Michigan, and like this may be a little biased, but like, yes, it's callable because his knee was down, but you can see he's still juggling the ball while he's falling across the goal line.
Right. No,
but it's still a touchdown.
And I'm saying I'm confused because I thought it was a catch in the rule, like a catch touchdown. I'm thinking that's the call. The ruling, like that's the first time where I was like, oh no, I'm mind fucked. Like, cause usually I can be like, oh, okay, that's the rule. They doing that now. That's corny, but that's the rule. That John, I was like, bro, I don't know what they're on. I feel bad. I really feel bad. I don't usually feel bad. I feel bad for Michigan.
And then my favorite part after that ruling, my favorite part, of course, was me sitting and watching the game with Sammy 2 and Drew, and I go, watch, they're gonna fumble this right here. Next play. We can't. We line up way too close together, and we make. I don't even know what kind of handoff that was. And then that's when I thought, like, all right, bro, this game's over. I may have said probably 50 times throughout that game. This game's over. This game's over. This game's over. And they found a way to come back. But good for TCU. I mean, if they find a way to go and beat Georgia, what a story this will be.
13.5-point dogs.
Like,
you got to take it. First of all, if you take Georgia spread, like, I guess you got it. But, like, I'm all over TCU plus the points.
Hell yeah, bro. First Big 12 team to reach the title game and college football playoff.
Hey, if you can't cover 12.5 and no national chip, bro, you deserve to be there. I don't give a fuck who you playing. You could play Thanos and them. You in a chip, bro. 12.5? That's disrespectful.
And it opened at like 13.5.
That is disrespectful as fuck. As fuck. That's all I'll say.
And that's the thing that like we've talked about too before is like, do you think these people are in the locker room and they're like, bro, we're really 13 point underdogs?
Yeah, they know. Yeah,
like,
they know.
all right, bro, then we're covering the spread.
Yeah,
like, we're obviously winning. But yeah, I mean, dude, like got to give a lot of credit to TCU in this game. And for Jim Harbaugh, obviously we've seen those alleged reports that if he gets offered an NFL job, he's gone. I mean, well, we will no longer see the Harbaugh curse. Like, I don't even know where he would fit in an NFL offense right now. But that's besides the point. Okay, Ohio State and Georgia. Another crazy game where this brings up so many questions at the quarterback position, which we're going to get to with the top two quarterbacks in college football. 42-41.
Who's
Bryson Stroud.
Oh, okay. I was one of the two that played in that game.
No, not in that game. Hell no, bro. Hell no.
Right,
Hell no.
I like you too, Stetson, but you feel me, Stetson? You not.
Now, like, this just shows the resilience of this team from the Bulldogs. They were down by 2 scores twice in both halves. It was 21-7 in the first half and then 38-14 in the fourth quarter. Obviously, that missed field goal, bro. What were we doing in that? We had a chance to win. I know it was like 50 yards or something, but we were way off on that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro, college kickers. I think that's a little bit out of his range.
Yeah, but then we saw in the Michigan game, we got our boy hitting 59-yarders to save Michigan.
It's college, bro. We're not all made the same. Not all them kickers make it to the league, man. You got to think. How many kickers in the league going to make a 52-yarder to win the game? Like, are you confident as fuck your kickers making a 52-yarder to win the game?
To win the game? No. And what did CJ say? He said, like, we should have put ourselves in a better position. But
no cap, bro. The thing that I gotta say about CJ, like this is coming from a guy like I follow State. I'm not like a State through and through blue blood, but I follow State. Like I'm really on like the fuck Ohio State wave. But like, bro, first of all, they've like a knock against Ohio State has been they can't produce good quarterbacks for the league. I mean, the last two they had, and I'll say this right now, I'm sure CJ Stroud will be a fine NFL quarterback the way he's been playing. And Justin Fields, I'll tell you right now, if you're not convinced he's going to be a good NFL quarterback, get your eyes fixed. But I mean, for a player, and this is like really niche. Like you have to really pay attention to like Ohio State like forums on Twitter. But the only knock against CJ Stroud is that he hasn't won the big game. He's never beat Michigan. I don't think he's won the Big Ten. Didn't win the Big Ten, and obviously haven't won the college football playoff. Like, but if you look at these games, like CJ Stroud has hooped, bro. Like I think personally he was a better quarterback at Ohio State than Justin Fields was, and I think Justin Fields was insane. But I think I don't know, something about CJ Stroud, the way he just commands that offense and just even like you're missing a scrambling aspect of him. Not even missing it. He can do it, but he's not doing it, and he's still just as effective as any other quarterback you've seen come through there. And for him to not get that W, I felt bad for him. First time in my life I ever felt bad for Ohio State quarterback, because if anyone deserved it, he didn't get no Big Ten chip. He never beat Michigan. Like he not even needed it, because he ain't seem like he was like. I mean, he probably went to the locker room and was absolutely dejected, but you see some other quarterbacks in the moment, they might be crying or doing some other extra shit. He still seemed composed as fuck, real cool, like still like a leader. Like I really wanted that for him. I never wanted nothing for Ohio State quarterback, but I did want that for CJ Stroud, and I'm gonna give him his flowers because that boy was a dog for 2 straight years. Like,
you bring up a good point about.
It was a real problem, bro, but just could never get the big game.
You bring up a good point about Fields too, because Urban Meyer said it before leading up to this game that. He believed that there was a quote where he said he believed that CJ Stroud sees the field better than Justin Fields.
I believe that. I could see that because then Justin Fields can move the pocket better than CJ Stroud can, so it opens up more lanes. You feel me? I could see that. And
you see Stroud with 4 touchdowns in the game, and now still snapped. I mean, he didn't have a pick. He had like 348 yards, something crazy.
And he was scrambling.
And this raises the question now, which I am curious to hear this answer from you. Can he pass Bryce Young and become that number 1 quarterback leading into the NFL draft? Because right now, the projections are that Bryce Young is number 1 and he will go to Houston. Is there a outcome where we see the pass of CJ to Bryce?
I mean, like I think Bryce Young's gonna get picked over him just because, like, if you look at how like NFL's offenses are going towards, they want a quarterback that's gonna be able to use his legs and run around. Like, even though Bryce Young isn't like blowing away CJ Stroud speed wise, he has shown way more of a willingness to scramble. You feel me? So like, I think teams going for that number one pick as quarterback, they're going to start overthinking and overanalyzing, and I'm like, oh, we'll take the guys a little more mobile. I think Bryce Young will still be number one. I don't think that argument. I think they're way closer than people. I mean, I think people know how close they are, to be honest. I think it's damn near 1A, 1B if you ask most people. But
I like that 1A, 1B.
I think Bryce Young's probably going to go one just because like the scouts have literally seen him be more willing to scramble. Not saying that CJ Stroud can't, because we saw he can, but I think just because of that alone, they're going to be a little more like, oh, we'll take Bryce Young, which no knock to him, but
yeah. And the most points allowed by Georgia all year.
Crazy.
And then we had some crazy bowl games yesterday on New Year's Day. I mean, somehow USC and Caleb Williams found a way to lose this game when I had them in a parlay on the money line. 16 points, 2 touchdowns, and a safety in 4 minutes, and they lose to Tulane. Hey, even though they lost that game, and even though they busted the parlay, I mean, Tulane, bro. Good for you guys.
Good for Tulane for real, but like, what the fuck? Like USC, like, bro.
Did I shut the game off?
First of all, we need to be in the college football playoff. First of all, like we fold on that, but we'll get that another time. Second of all, like, bro, weren't they up 16? Was it 16? I'm pretty sure it was 16, right? Like, yo, like once we've already folded and fucked it. I have a couple things to say about Lincoln Riley, but like, because he's a great offensive minded coach. But brother, on our own 1 yard line, we come out in shotgun. The whole nation knew it was a safety before it was even a safety, bro. We don't have one I formation package for being backed up on the goal line. That's fucking crazy to me. And like, Lincoln Riley defenses never fail. I'm a Lincoln Riley fan. I really am. I like all the Oklahoma teams. I like the USC team a lot. I thought they were very, very fucking good. But if Lincoln Riley could assemble a half-competent defense, they literally win the national chip with their eyes closed. That offense is insane. Well, Dye got hurt, but if Travis Dye never got hurt, and with the fact that Caleb Williams and Addison in there, like that offense is nuts. Like if they have a half-competent defense, that team is literally beating everyone in the nation. I just can't. It's unbelievable.
The collapse.
I will say though, I haven't had hope. I haven't had hope for USC. This is the only time I ever had hope for USC. I think they still will be able to build something. I think Caleb Williams helped a lot, like just being there, winning the Heisman, being like kind of a poster boy. They've had a lot of dogs there. Like I've already said, Travis Dye is a Cali kid who showed out at USC. A lot of Cali kids watching him, going to want to go to USC. And that's what I was talking about when we was in LA. And I was like, that's all they have to do is keep getting these Cali kids and they're going to start being nasty. It's a good step for USC, but brutal.
I mean, you talk about the collapse. We find a way to lose and take our chances out of the college football playoff, and then we go lose our bowl game. I mean, that's like
we don't opt out either. Like
I don't know.
Minimal opt outs.
So I don't know if it gets any worse than that to end the season.
No.
Really. And then obviously your boys up in Penn State. Fun to see Penn State out in a Rose Bowl.
Got a Rose Bowl W. Thank fuck.
And can you just enlighten the people out there, that Utah fans that are bitching that when Rising goes down.
Yeah, they were saying that Cam Rising, they win that game with Cam Rising in the game. I respect it, and I'm happy you told me, you clarified that it was Utah fans that were saying this, because I didn't know who was saying it at the time. I didn't know if it was pundits or if it was like gamblers or whatever, because that's usually who it would be. I had Utah. You know what I mean?
Utah spread, bro.
Yeah. But like, all right, Utah fans, I feel y'all, because it sucks for Cam Rising, because I think he tore his ACL last year in the Rose Bowl. Was it? Or no, he had a concussion. Got a concussion last year in the Rose Bowl, and this year he fucked his knee up. So like, there's been 2 straight what ifs, and the Utah fans are going to say what if, but like, yeah, if you're watching that game, Penn State had full control. There's true freshmen running all over you guys, up 14. Sean Clifford's going out with again his flowers for the Rose Bowl. Yeah, it was never Utah, and I was very hurt, upset you didn't take Penn State with us. We would have had a full squad ride.
I know we would
have had a full squad ride for Sean Clifford's last hurrah. He sold us. He's made us money. And one last send-off, Sean Clifford cashed us. What a fucking storybook send-off for Sean Clifford. Didn't break one thing, and this is going to sound like I'm hating, just because I like Trace a little bit better than Sean Clifford. No offense, Sean Clifford. I fuck with you too. But I don't think he broke Trace McSorley's record for most combined passing and rushing touchdowns. I think Trace McSorley had like 107. which is nuts.
Good way for Penn State to finish out the season.
Yeah, fuck
And they got a Rose Bowl.
Fuck yeah, they're here. I mean, still, they can't beat the Avengers. They can't beat Michigan. They can't beat Ohio State. Right. But listen, they were like, this was damn near one of those years again where they were super close. Ohio State game, if you watched it, they literally were going to win that game, and they just fucking collapsed.
And they collapsed.
We'll see next year with Penn State. With Drew Aller obviously coming in, they had a lot of hype. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. And as we shift gears now to Skip and the Whites, hope you're enjoying the show so far. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a like and a comment down below. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, give us those ratings. Those help us go a long way in our new year of 2023. Before we get to Skip Bayless and Dana White, though, I do have a random question for you. Yeah, because that's going to be crazy. But before we do get there, I was doing some things around the house yesterday, getting some Christmas decorations down. When is it too late to bring your Christmas lights down and your Christmas decorations down? You talk about like...
to me. You asked the wrong boys question, bro. I'm day after, a couple days. New Year's, if your shit not down, bro, you're wild. Like, to me, I'm just like, bro, I'm just not the big... maybe because I don't have kids. I think because we're at this age where we're in our 20s and we don't have kids and like we don't really give a fuck about Christmas no more. Like, bro, once this shit over, bro, I'd be salty when they be trying to sneak the Christmas music in the gym, bro. I'm like, why is Christmas music in the gym?
Yeah.
I don't care.
But you see now, it's like people still got all their stuff up outside, and like, bro, it's January 3rd.
No, that's way too late. At this point, I feel like I'm in my 20s. Christmas is about family. I'm trying to see my aunties, my grandmoms, and all of them the day of Christmas. And once the day of Christmas, my brothers and everybody I ain't see all. And once Christmas is over, bro, I don't care no more. I'm past the point now. I don't even care about getting presents, bro. I'll be getting presents and I'll be like, oh, all right, you got me something, thank you. I'm gonna get to that. The openness though. I'm way past the Christmas mindset at this point, man.
Oh yeah. All right, so two little random stuff there. Two, Skip Bayless, some very, I'm not going to call it questionable tweets, but two people that took it the wrong way. I guess you can put it.
I mean, he could have worded it better. I guess people were saying he could have worded it better.
Well, let's go to tweet number 1. Not exactly sure what happened to DeMar Hamlin. Players on both teams are...
I made my fault. Yo, what the fuck?
Players on both teams are shaken. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family. And before we go any further, obviously our thoughts and prayers go out to DeMar Hamlin and his family. Something that is so crazy that, fans all around the world, this was national coverage last night, something we have never seen before. Very, very sad stuff. And we just... we hope and pray that he will be okay and we can continue, he can continue his career moving forward.
Bro, it's so funny.
And his life going forward.
Nah, no bullshit. Prayers for DeMar, bro. That shit's crazy. PA's own too from Pittsburgh, real shit. I think Skip Bayless would come up so much better if he knew how to start the tweet. Bro, read the beginning of the tweet again.
Yeah, so the beginning of the tweet says, not exactly sure what happened to DeMar Hamlin.
Dog.
Like, we obviously know something was bad if he got up.
I'm about to say, if we don't know, if we don't know what happened,
like you could say like that.
I'm not even gonna say what happened, but we watched it.
Yeah, like that looked terrible.
And before y'all, bro, I think Skip's getting dragged a little too much, but now I'm thinking back, I'm like, Skip B.
That was the start of the massacre.
It's cool though. It's cool. That's not even the tweet though.
Okay, so now we have 2 more that we're gonna go through here, and the second from Skip is, I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this. In every other situation I witnessed or covered, the game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, quote, hey, that's football, end quote. For those players, this was different.
No, that tweet was facts.
That
not but you feel me? I get it. Like,
for sure, we understand what he's trying to say.
When I'm seeing these tweets from Skip, like personally, when I'm live seeing these same 2 tweets, I'm like, bro, this is just a boomer talking how a boomer would talk. Like, you feel me? I'm not even tweaking, bro. Yeah. I'm just like, he's just. And
before we get into the last tweet, what he did say on his show today was, I don't look at the replies or anything. I just tweet to tweet. Like, I'm just out tweeting.
I'm happy you don't look at the replies.
Like, if something's happening, like he's basically saying, like, when stuff happens, like he pulls out his phone, he opens up Twitter, and then he types something out and then he hits tweet.
Good, because
that's what he said. Allegedly, that's what he's saying he does.
Because we be dragging you.
I'm sure he sees it. But and then
I'd be laughing
finally, we get to the last one of this massacre of tweets. says, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When you're in the moment and you're emotional and you're worried about the Mar and how everyone was doing it, but when you read him say, but how, like I initially think he's talking about like how, like from his own perspective, like how he feels about the game, like how, like I want to watch the game going. That's when I first read the tweet, and this is my wrongdoing. This is me admitting my wrongdoing. I read it from him saying how, as in I, Skip Bayless, want to watch the rest of this game because I just want to enjoy the rest of the game. You feel me?
Yeah.
I didn't take it as he's saying like how, like this game's for the 1 seed. It's week 17. It's already the first quarter. I think, and I could be wrong, I think that's what he meant. And like that's where I'm like, oh, I might have misinterpreted you, Skip. Like I was dragging you, I was laughing at shit.
Well, we have a tweet here.
I might have tweaked out, like, cause that shit was funny.
Well, a bunch of Barstool personalities, including Portnoy himself, were voicing their opinions on it, saying to kind of relax a little bit. And then Kenny actually tweeted and said, "This is Skip's entire thread in order. The third tweet, which is the last one that was just read, is the one people are freaking out about. Again, I think this guy totally blows." But did everyone just misunderstand his last tweet? I get it if you think it's too soon, but the level of outrage I'm seeing is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's just people's personal bias towards Skip Bayless. Like,
right.
People have so much trouble, and there's a lot of people, because Skip Bayless has said a lot of insensitive things about a lot of people, like about a lot of players and athletes. We all know there's
even his partner.
You feel me? Exactly. So like we don't have to even go there, but like. There's a lot of people that like have that personal bias so tied into Skip Bayless that once he says anything that's like marginally questionable, it's like pitchforks, fires, cancellation. You feel me? Like I don't hate Skip Bayless that much. Obviously, Kenny doesn't hate Skip Bayless that much, and you don't. It's where it's like I can like decipher between Skip Bayless, a TV personality, him being the dickhead on camera that I don't like, and then him trying to like send out a tweet and he's like 70 years old. Like I'm gonna try to like you mean not look at me now, like hindsight, I'm like, all right, Skip, when you send tweets out, I'm gonna read them Jones twice. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at it. Like we was, but there was one tweet that I was like. He had said like someone on the show today, he's like, I'm a LeBron fan now. And it was like, yo, y'all cancel Skip Bayless so bad that he's a LeBron fan. I was in tears.
Well, it obviously shows the magnitude a little bit, at least though, because
he changed his
Shannon
tone.
Sharp didn't even show up though.
Shannon didn't come to work.
He didn't come to his show. He didn't
come to work.
Skip had to run the show to himself, which was almost like a fucking don't cancel me kind of show.
No cap.
I mean,
literally what it was don't cancel me, bro. He's shaking, doing his little thing with the papers.
He's bouncing the papers back and forth.
Skip,
his
bro.
Microphone is like clipped to his suit jacket. And you can hear him like when he breathes out with his nose, you can hear like the breath go onto the mic because he's like
trembling.
He
knew his.
He was shaking
he
up.
He said his boss called him.
Yeah, like he said there was a clip from the show today where he said his boss from Fox called him and said you need to clarify the tweet. And then that's where he had to tweet out again, like, all right, listen, like, and obviously he said what he said. But I mean, there's a lot of we've been. Before we even get it to Dana White, I am
not.
2023 is.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just stamp this on camera and on microphone. I am not a Skip Bayless fan. This is the first time in my life I ever felt bad for Skip. I was like, and I even like felt bad to where like, cause this shit was genuinely funny today, bro. I was having a blast laughing at Skip Bayless tweets. I'm not even going. And I feel like everyone else listening to this was probably laughing just with me. But like, damn, Skip. Like for the first time, and no one else got to agree with me here. This was from me, Skip. My fault, gang. You feel me? You got it.
Yeah, you got it.
My fault.
So in other crazy news besides Skip Bayless, Dana White and his wife Ann White were on TMZ. They made TMZ this weekend on New Year's. There was a video that came out from TMZ where they both hit each other, but Dana got his 2 licks in versus her 1, and they were separated. They were at a VIP club in the VIP section, and I guess people or fans from down below were able to capture the video. A quote from Dana White in the TMZ article said, his quote on TMZ said, quote, "You've heard me say for years, there's never, ever an excuse for a guy to put his hands on a woman. And now here I am on TMZ talking about it." So very, very interesting there. And then obviously, if you have seen the video, it's his wife hits him and then he gets 2 licks back in and then they're separated. And like she almost like moved like far when he hit her the first time. Like he definitely got
I thought he knocked her down, bro.
It almost looks like it.
I thought he knocked her down. I was like, damn, Dana, like what the but like, I mean, bro, we don't gotta talk about nobody's feelings about towards like men hitting women. Like, but like I just at least like, cause you had told me about the shit that he said about the quote, like what he said and what his wife said. And like, I would 100% didn't even see that shit. Like, no cap. And like, I was just like, from the jump, like, from how he seemed like he handled it, he seemed like he handled like a G. Like, I mean, you're wrong. So there's only so much
he said there's no hiding from it. There's no excuses.
But like, I mean, a lot of people do hide from that shit. And like, I feel like when you do go away, you don't say anything. Like, you go back on social media, like, you start posting subliminal messages and people start like posting them on social media and like building their own narrative. And that's when we start being like, bro, what's good? Like,
right.
I at least tip my cap to Dana that he came out and like was like, yo, listen, I was drawing because that shit looked crazy to me. Like, I was like in public, Dana, like, damn, cuz he like, yo.
Especially out and about.
Like, yo.
And also in this TMZ article, his wife Anne had her quote saying, quote, Dana and I have been married for almost 30 years. To say this is out of character for him is an understatement. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Unfortunately, we were both drinking too much on New Year's Eve, and things got out of control on both sides. We've talked this through as a family and apologized to each other. I just hope people will respect our privacy for the sake of our kids. Because obviously, you got to sit the kids down and show them the video and be like, what the hell did daddy do to mommy?
Yeah, it's so like, fucked. I don't even know how I react to that as a kid, bro. I don't know how old his kids are, but that's pretty fucked.
I don't know how old they are
That's
either.
pretty fucked up. But like, damn, like at least, yeah, I mean, and it's really no, like, it says a good bit to me about at least who, because I'm also not Mr. Dana White either, but it says a good bit to me about who Dana is as a person that she can at least sit down and say that about him. Because if you think about dudes who hit their wives, they're
ready to blow.
They're gone, bro. Like,
up.
so I mean, I hope they recover from this and like this doesn't follow Dana forever because, you know, you're fans of the UFC and shit. But like, come on, Dana.
Yeah, I mean,
damn.
Hey, like everybody's
we are running out of people to root for, bro.
Right.
Like, y'all gotta chill.
And everybody's had their fair share of drinks, and you know, been in times where they've been way too fucked up.
Bad ideas,
right?
Absolutely.
But come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, not to this caliber. Bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was aggressive. That was aggressive. That was mighty aggressive.
So I mean, on that note, welcome to 2023.
No bullshit. Bro. 2023 is off to the weirdest start I feel like any year has ever got started off to, bro. Like, please stay safe, stay in good health, keep your mind straight, eat your greens. You feel me? Wipe your ass after you shit. Like, it's some crazy shit going on, man. I'm praying for all y'all boys in 2023, man. This shit getting crazy, man.
No shit.
I saw some dude. Not to bring the mood down. I saw some dude died on like a snowmobile accident. The dude, the race car driver. I forget his name.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn, bro, what the fuck is going on?
Snowmobile accident.
Bro,
like 55 years old, I believe.
Jesus,
so,
R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace for that. What a crazy start to 2023. I mean, we have so many stories. I would say outside of sports, because
literally,
it's not necessarily
the game itself,
right? But yeah, I mean, what the fuck, dude? Okay, so we are now headed to our NFL playoff picture. The only reason we want to run through this stuff is because there's so many crazy outcomes that can happen where teams that have been on the fringe or have not even been on the fringe, have been out, now have a chance to get in. We do want to start on the NFC because both of our teams are on the NFC. The Giants don't apply. My Giants, I'm a Giants fan, don't apply to any of this. But for the Philly fan over here, the Eagles and their NFC East and their 1 seed are on the line this week as they host the New York Giants. So the Eagles can clinch the NFC East with a win or a Dallas loss, and they're against Washington this week.
We are also going to win that game. We're 14-point favorites. So
you're 44-point favorites, and the Giants don't have to play anybody.
I'm going to say, let's just keep in mind that the Eagles are going to win this game.
But can I say this, though? Like, weeks ago, we were saying that the Giants were going to need this game, and the Eagles were going to be sitting everyone. And now we're saying the Giants are going to sit everyone because they are locked into the 6th seed. They can't go to the 5. They can't go to the 7. So they don't have to play anybody. So the roles have literally just flipped. And then for them to win and clinch the 1 seed, they need a win against the Giants or a Dallas and a San Francisco loss. And
I think we win regardless.
I think you win regardless.
I think we win regardless.
I think everyone's going to, but what would be wild...
Injuries matter. Health matters.
For sure. What would be wild, though, is if the Eagles, kind of blow this 1 seed and they end up getting the 2 and the Packers sneak in, which we'll get to in a moment, it could be...
Bro,
Aaron Rodgers headed to the link.
So we have to lose for the Packers to get in?
No, I'm just saying.
I was gonna say they're fucked. I didn't know that scenario.
No. That's not the scenario. They just have to win. Okay. But I'm saying if the Eagles go to the 2 and the Packers get in,
we play them.
And Aaron Rodgers would.
We ain't going to the 2. I ain't talking about no 2 shit.
No, that's fine.
We are 14-point favorites. I'm about to take the spread. Nah, I ain't taking no spread.
You probably could, bro. Saquon's definitely not gonna play.
I ain't taking no spread.
You probably don't even start.
You probably could though. You probably could though.
It's a Tyrod Taylor day.
We ain't losing. If we lose, y'all can come back and make a clown out of me like y'all like to do with all the rest of the shit.
Facts, bro. It's probably gonna be a Tyrod Taylor day at the Link.
I like that.
In a must-win game.
I fuck with that.
Like, why not?
I fuck with that.
Let Breida do the bulk of the carrying.
There you go.
Who cares, bro? They're not going anywhere anyway. They're sitting at the 6th seed. Okay, so San Francisco in another team that can get the 1 seed. They have to win, and the Eagles need to lose for San Francisco to take the 1 seed. And I want to keep the scenario where San Francisco has the 2 and Minnesota has the 3. So then the Giants get Minnesota because I think Minnesota's fraudulent as hell. And I would rather go to Minnesota than, as a Giants fan, I would rather go to Minnesota than go to San Francisco. And that's just a fact.
I was right about Minnesota since week 2, by the way.
Bro.
Minus 19 point differential. And what's their record? They have 3 losses?
Yeah, they are
4 losses?
4 losses.
Negative 19 point differential, and they have 13 W's, bro. I was right about Minnesota. We gonna wait till they get knocked out for me to officially start, but they are really they always are. I was cool with y'all. I say this all the time. I was really cool with Minnesota until they started coming to my city and doing that crazy shit with that.
But think about that though. For the Vikings, they have 3 of their 4 losses this season are just terrible. I mean, the Cowboys
getting worked.
Cowboys blew them out, Eagles blew them out, and then the Packers blew them out.
3 of those teams really matter if you think about it.
Yeah, 100%.
3 of those teams really matter.
I mean, and that game for this past Sunday for Aaron Rodgers, I mean, that was the game that kept them in a playoff picture.
I'll be trying to defend Kirk Cousins and shit too. So I mean, I don't know.
They still have a dominant offense.
They ain't that. They ain't that.
You get somebody that locks Justin Jefferson. Way to go, Alexander, for
Yeah, the gritty and all that shit. He's funny.
Talking the talk, walking the walk.
He's funny and he's crazy with that big ass hat on after the game.
I know. That made it so much more funny, bro.
Shit. You see his picture after his Instagram picture and shit? I like Jair Alexander. I'm a Jair Alexander. You know what's funny? One of my favorite processes of liking a player is when you like them for how they play. No, you peep how they are as a person. You're like, nah, I really like this motherfucker. He's just a
funny dude.
Yeah, I like how he talks his shit. No, tell Skip and Chin, I'm a great corner.
Yeah. It was funny because they said he was good, and then he gets all defensive and he's on that, and he's corner. Tell Skip and Shannon I'm not a good corner, I'm a great corner. And he said it so fast, and he snuck it in there. He's like, I'm not a good corner, I'm a great corner. And he snuck it right in there. I'm like, bro, you tell him, dude. And well, he didn't have to tell him because he showed it. But okay, now to Dallas in another team, the third team out of San Francisco and Philly that can get the 1 seed. They clinched the NFC East with a win and an Eagles loss. Now, again, the fact that we're saying Eagles loss is kind of irrelevant at this point. But what's more important is they clinch the 1 seed with their win against Washington, obviously. But then they'll also need an Eagles loss and then a San Francisco loss to Arizona, which most likely we don't see happening because San Francisco...
They're at the 0.1 percentiles.
Yeah, because San Francisco is still playing... They still got to play some people because they have a chance to get the 1 seed, so they're not benching people. Yeah. And then we see our 2 teams that have kind of been in that fringe play for the majority of this latter half of the season: the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. The Seahawks clinch with a win against the Rams and then a Green Bay loss, and then the Lions would clinch with a win against Green Bay on Sunday Night Football and a Seattle loss. So what I think is I do like the structure of putting the Packers in the Sunday night spot because it's, Sunday night at Lambeau where all Aaron Rodgers needs to do is win.
Right.
But what I do think is weird about that is we could be going into that Sunday night game already knowing if the Lions are in or out.
Yeah.
Because if Seattle loses, or if Seattle wins against the Rams, then the Lions are just playing to knock out the Packers.
Yeah.
So then it's let's go beat him to knock him out.
All the suits care about is Aaron Rodgers anyway.
Right.
The suits and ties up at NFL.
I was talking to some people about it, and they were like, I don't really like how it's like that because, we're gonna know if the Lions are either playing for a playoff spot or they're playing just to knock out the Packers. And I'm like, yeah, but NBC wants that game.
This
where
whole shit's about Aaron Rodgers.
Lambeau Field. If my whole thing on it is if this was at Ford Field, this would not be a Sunday night game.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's like Lambeau, frozen tundra. It's definitely gonna be cold. And Aaron Rodgers just all he has to do is win. They don't need a loss from anybody. They just have to win. I am on that side of the spectrum where like I don't like it that we could see the Lions basically playing for nothing at one point.
I'd be more scared if the Lions are playing for nothing because personally I want to see Aaron Rodgers make it to the playoffs and the only reason is why is because I don't want to hear the media try to make up all these reasons about why Aaron Rodgers and them they make the playoffs, like because they be on Aaron Rodgers' ass and like I don't like that shit. I think the Lions are 10 times more scary if they have nothing to play for. Just the way they play, like high flying offense, they don't play a lot of defense. Like if they have nothing to play for and they go into Lambeau.
And it will
Dan
be.
Campbell would love nothing more than to spoil somebody's fucking last game of the season. That's all I'll say.
Tell you what, because it will go like this: if Seattle wins and then the Lions win, then Seattle gets that spot. I would much rather like to see that 7 spot be Aaron Rodgers because then, honestly, like the way those NFC teams have been playing, like people are going to say the Giants are frauds. People are going to say the Vikings are frauds. I think that NFC playoff picture is going to look insane, and those games are going to be crazy good.
It's going to be nuts. I mean, the Giants have. If we look down the NFC, the Giants have beaten arguably like I think the second or third most good teams. If you want to say quote unquote good teams, how you rank good teams, I think the Giants have probably beat the second or third most good teams.
I mean, they beat the Packers.
Ravens.
They beat the Ravens. They've beaten the Titans. Obviously, that was the beginning of the year when everyone thought the Titans were going to be good.
Exactly.
Obviously, that Vikings game was very, very close on that 61-yarder that was made on Christmas Eve. It's going to be fun to see because, like I said, like that 2 seed, whoever a 2 seed could be, we could see San Francisco hosting Aaron Rodgers if the Eagles get it. That would be insane. Like, I will be very content as long as I don't care who gets the 2, as long as it's San Francisco or Philly.
Fact.
I do not want Minnesota going to the 2. Now we head to the AFC, and this is a little bit more complicated just because we unfortunately weren't able to finish that game last night from Bengals and the Bills. So it makes it a little bit more complicated for these 1 seeds. The Chiefs will clinch the 1 seed with a win and either 1 Bills loss or 2 Bills losses and a Bengals loss. So obviously, like it's a lot more that has to happen because we didn't finish the game. The Bills will clinch the 1 seed with 2 wins versus the Bengals and the Patriots, or a win at the Bengals and a Chiefs loss in Vegas, or a win against the Pats and the Chiefs and Bengals lose in week 18, and the Bengals are home against Baltimore. So if it comes down to that final scenario, I mean, I'm still not ruling out the Ravens of beating the Bengals in week 18. So that is a little bit more complicated than our first, in our NFC side. I do think, honestly, I mean, who do you really think is going to get that 1 seed? I mean, fuck. I mean, they just need the Bills to lose 1 game.
I was going to say, I thought the Bills were going to win it. And honestly, like, I think now, I think the Bills are even, like, I think the Bills, given that they, like, with this whole DeMar Hamilton thing, and they're going to really, really, like, bind up behind him, bro. They are a pro. Like,
yeah, they're gonna get the 1 seed for sure.
I wasn't a Bills believer, bro. But like,
that's a good point, though. I was thinking the Chiefs were gonna get it.
It's not even because the severity really of DeMar Hamilton. Like when you just lose a player that was a starter for you for the rest of the season, and it's something like pretty serious like that. Like a team just comes together behind that, something crazy. Like they might. I think 1 seed confirmed, and I think Super Bowl appearance confirmed. I think we might see another rematch with him and Mahomesy in the AFC chip, in the chip this time. And I think it's confirmed. I think that's a team that's too damn good to give them any more fire. Damn good,
Facts. Yeah, it's a good point. Because at
this point, I would love to see them do it.
Well, I was
if they beat us.
I was over here sitting thinking that the Chiefs were, possibly going to get that because they just would need 1 Bills loss, and it could be to the Bengals. Yeah,
but very well could have been to the Bengals.
So I mean, but now you bring up that point, which is like obviously that's the obvious point, but I wasn't really thinking about it like that.
But you come together over that shit, bro. They might be. That team is, like I said, too damn good.
And looking at the 1 seed for the Bengals, they clinched the 1 seed with 2 wins, obviously Bills and Ravens, and a Chiefs loss. Now they'll clinch the North with a win or a tie against the Bills or a win versus the Ravens. And let me just go on first and foremost by saying, where are all the people that said the Bengals were dead weeks and weeks and weeks ago? Saying, oh, the Bengals are going to miss in the playoffs. Bengals are missing the playoffs. We're tuned up right here on the brink of a 1 seed, basically winning the North again. Where are you at now? Seriously. We had hot takes. And
I think this is par for the course for the Bengals. I think they're a slow start. I think they're a slow start team. I think this is the Bengals. But low key, let's not spice it. Lamar Jackson doesn't get hurt.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's different. I mean, Ravens have still held their own without him.
Yeah, no, they did.
Not saying not saying held their own. They just were able to, get some wins.
They didn't collapse.
Yeah, they didn't collapse. That's the best way to put it.
Fuck no, yeah.
Now, the Patriots clinch with a win. They need a lot here. They will clinch with a win against the Bills, which is highly unlikely, and a Dolphins loss versus the Jets, and a Steelers loss versus the Browns, and a Jags win versus the Titans. So basically, Patriots, yes, you need to win and do your thing, but then you got to sit there and hope and pray that all these other outcomes happen. Now, another thing that's also possible for the Dolphins, they clinch with a win versus the Jets and a Pats loss to the Bills. That's very likely as well. And then another big thing too for wild outcomes that need to happen in a good way for the Steelers. They'll clinch with a win versus the Browns. They also need a Dolphins loss to the Jets, and they need a Pats loss to the Bills. So let's also put a lot of respect on Kenny Pickett especially, and the Steelers for getting that comeback win on Sunday Night Football.
Bro, the Dolphins' mishandlement of Tua's head has completely fucking tipped this fucking conference.
There's a stat where they won 3 games in a row,
yes,
and they lost 3 games in a row, and they won 5, and then lost 5 in a row.
Bro, if they just sit Tua down the first time, sit his ass down, they probably lose 2 games, 3 games maybe. I think they're probably the 3 seed.
You know how detrimental...
Changes the entire outlook of this fucking conference right now. It's fucking nuts.
You know how detrimental, how he got that how they found out he had that third concussion, how detrimental that is? We're going through tape, and we're asking you, about plays that you recall and doing this and that, and he has no idea. He doesn't remember. No, we got to put you in concussion protocol. And then that's the third one. Let's not forget what Ryan Clark said when his whole rant, which was very, very respectable, about Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
Retiring at 28 because he had 3 concussions in 1 season. Same thing. And then another big thing here for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're put in a position, Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, where it's kind of a win and get in, but it is on them. They still have to win to give themselves a chance, and I do think they will do that against the Titans because they have a great relationship, Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. The Jags will clinch the AFC South and a 4 seed. Think about the Jacksonville Jaguars as a 4 seed. That's back when Jalen Ramsey was there and beating up on the Pats and Tom Brady. They'll clinch the AFC South and the 4 seed with a win versus the Titans, but if they lose, they still have a shot to get in. They will also need a Pats and a Dolphins loss, and they'll still win the South. So win or lose, they have a shot to get in, which is remarkable. But for them, it is a win and get in, but it's also really doesn't matter because then we can just sit and hope and pray. So there's so many different outcomes.
See Dougie P and him in there, man.
Yeah, I know that. I
think Dougie P
Duval.
Reviving Duval. First of all, am I saying that shit wrong?
I don't know, bro. I remember that guy commented.
Yeah. But I think if he revives Duval, that will really stamp his coaching career because low key he revived Philly. After Andy Reid's last year and after Andy Reid, it was a lull. It was just oh shit, we're kind of ass now. We were always nice with Andy. Now we're kind of middle of the pack, kind of ass. And he came in first year 8-8 and then glory land. It's almost the same trajectory in fucking Duval. Literally just had Urban Meyer. We don't even need to talk about that shit. Another half-hour podcast if we want to do that shit.
Facts.
Comes in, him and Trevor Lawrence have a chance to go. It's not 8-8 anymore. What is it, 8-9 or whatever, or 9-8? They can go one of the two, I believe, right?
Yeah. So if the Jags win, this weekend, they have the Saturday night game at 8:15. They'll be 9-8.
So he could literally have the same trajectory he had when he was in Philly with a quarterback in Trevor Lawrence that is probably better than Carson Wentz was. Leaves you with the question that how much did Carson Wentz almost explode the whole Eagles building, bro, because like people were thinking Doug was a problem, that Howie was a problem, that some players were the problem, and like this dude almost just ruined, like he almost fucked up Doug Peterson's career.
Well, how about we need?
And like I still fuck with Carson, but it's still crazy, like just what he was doing at that building at that time, like he almost fucked up Doug Peterson's carear.
Well, you bring up Carson, and I want to touch on this last thing here. You bring up Carson, and I'm gonna get to Ron Rivera in a second, but why are we playing Carson Wentz in a game that can keep us in the playoffs?
Dude, he
hasn't played in weeks.
Dude, that's the reason
What's
why I
the
brought
point?
it up. Dude, I have no idea.
2.8 passer rating?
I have no idea.
2.8 passer rating?
I have no
Less
idea.
than 200 yards,
Oh my
3
God.
interceptions?
Yeah, I don't
What kind of call is that? Why are we not? Why like Taylor Heineke was the guy to start there? He's been leading this team for I would say probably almost 3/4 of the season. I'm shocked at that. And then obviously we're about Ron. What the fuck was he on in that press conference where they asked him, did you know like a win here will keep you in the playoffs? Like now you're out of the playoffs, and he really says, "Oh no, I didn't know."
I don't know.
I hope you were messing around because like that is that a fireable offense?
Nah, I hope he was just on some like, oh, you guys think I didn't know? Like you feel me? Like you know what
Yeah, I mean you only hope, but
like what's up with your man, Kayvon?
yeah, we should talk about that.
That's fucked.
Okay.
That's all I need to say is that's fucked.
Yeah. So the Thibodeau Snow Angels when Nick Foles is down, it was a little excessive.
What a little excessive.
Originally, so I will say originally I was saying that he didn't see him, but then when you do the view of like him like from his feet view from like the end zone camera view, he not only like looks at him, like people are gonna say like he did it 10 times. He did, I counted. He did 10 times, and he looked after the 6th or the 7th. He looked at him. What people aren't gonna say is
he touched him.
He's touching him every time,
bro.
Every time.
I was fucking fuming.
Now,
and I couldn't believe not one big ass 6'5", 340-pound lineman didn't put a fucking cleat in his face.
That's what Jeff Saturday said.
What the fuck? Charmin Ultra Soft. I don't gotta say nothing else. This generation's fucked up.
Quentin Nelson couldn't have gotten in there.
He needed his ass beat so bad. Our season's over.
And then did you see what he did on the sideline too? He did this.
Bro,
he put the
should
Steph
have got
Curry
a
sleep emoji on him.
cleat to the throat, and I wouldn't have been mad at all. Bro, Nick Foles was fighting for his life, figuratively.
Yeah.
Bad timing. But Nick Foles was literally going through it on the ground right there.
And my other thing,
and this bull is literally touching him,
he's touching him, and he looked at him. My other thing too is like you're laying pretty close to him. I know it's a loud stadium, but you probably can hear him like yelling in pain.
Yes.
Like
no, he knew what he was doing.
So yes, I kind of missed it at the beginning when it first happened. I was like, well, he didn't notice. And then you see now, yes, I did notice now.
He is tweaking.
But those same people that were bitching about this whole Thibodeau thing, what's up when Daniel Jones slides down and gets his head bashed on the ground? Was that a payback thing or what? But those same people bitching about Thibodeau weren't talking about the Daniel Jones hit right to the dome.
Yeah, no, I'm not even really tweaking about. I'm tweaking. I'm mad about Thibodeau, whatever. I'm really tweaking. Nobody wanted to beat his ass. So nobody, that's where I'm like.
Yeah, because Jeff Saturday honestly made his comments.
If you're gonna let me get away with this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do Snow Angels in front of your quarterback that just hurt if no one's going to touch
Whoever celebrated on him too, like they smacked his chest too. It was almost like, yes, I'm happy for it, but it was almost kind of like I'm coming over to you to
continue this.
No, to like get up. Because he was doing it for a long time.
I thought it was kind of just like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think the whole thing was fucked. That's all. I think that shit was fucked. And the karma's coming. The karma is coming.
You know what? Yeah, because that's this is going to be so funny too. I'm so thankful that you just brought that up because I wasn't even thinking about that, and then it just put this amazing thought into my head.
When you guys lose in round one, it's going to literally be because of Kayvon Thibodeau.
And you know what we're going to say? Everyone's going to say that entire thing. You know what they're going to compare that to? The 2016 boat party.
Yeah, it's going to be the boat. That's going to be the new boat. You guys are going to go
the new boat.
It's going to go 2-30.
That's what you all are going to fucking say if they lose to Minnesota in round one. That's exactly what they're going to compare it right to the fucking boat. And everyone's sitting here. They apparently they went out to like this, I don't know, some Asian club or some Asian nice restaurant, whatever, and they spent like $40,000 or some crazy shit. And these people are on Twitter saying like, let them have this moment, let's celebrate. Let's not blow this up for the media and make it think like this is another boat parade. It's been 6 years since the playoffs, all this kind of stuff. But if they do find a way to lose, you same motherfuckers are going to be the same people that said the shit about the boat parade. You're going to compare it to this. That's a great point that you brought up. I wasn't even fucking thinking about that.
I will. I don't even care. You can tell me I'm one of them people. I can't wait.
Be the same shit right there. Great way to end this goddamn long banger in 2023. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy our first podcast of 2023, we have some great content coming out this year. Drop a like down below and a comment. What did you like about this crazy show? Skip Bayless and Dana White going crazy. Our big bowl games and the NFL playoff picture. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you have been watching or listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, you know what to do. Give us those ratings. It's going to be a long 2023, and we're here to make it. You've been listening to the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the man in red, Manny Ruffin. My name is Alex Jacobs, but you can call me All Day AJ. We will see you when we see you. Happy New Year. Let's go.